Right, welcome back to Satisfactory. Here's my drone. Wait, where are you going? Where are you going? Maybe he started to return to base because that's what he thought he had to do, but then realized, no, wait, I've got to go back. Who knows? We have our hover thing now, which is about to run out of battery. But now we're within range of our power lines again. We can't quite use it to get up to the height of the manta ray. Oh, I just realized something though. So long as we have our power network running through any exploration power lines, we no longer have to zipline. We can just... Wait. Okay, I just put away my hover thing. Oh, interesting. It shows it now being controlled by two things. The thumbs don't... Oh, they do move. I am losing my voice today. So what's the one on the right doing then? At best, I guess. So, okay. We can have our zipline equipped, but yeah, we don't need it so long as they're powered. Anyway, what were we doing? We have made some significant improvements. We now have some AI limiters being made over there, because we needed those to make our drones. Just check what the ports are like on this. Okay, it is draining. But then you're not really using enough, that's the problem. So my concern now is this going to just fill up? How about we stick another one on top? Or even another two. We'll just have a tower of plastic. Or, actually no, we'll just do normal containers. There and there. And then we can actually get rid of this lifter and have the conveyor belt going straight in to there. And then have a lifter. It's doing everything Mark IV for this. There you go. So it can flow all the way down to the bottom, where it'll be used from. But has a couple of layers, so it can back up if it needs to. Because I think we're producing it faster than we can use. Which is fine, because then eventually our drone is just going to sit there, presumably, because it's like, I can't unload. So, that'll do. So, because yeah, you're using 40 per minute to make computers still. We were musing about how we also needed, you can actually look at it here, we're going to need supercomputers soon. That uses computers and AI limiters and high-speed connectors. High-speed connectors also uses circuit boards and cable and Quickwire. AI limiters requires Quickwire and copper sheets, weirdly. We've got our motors being produced here, kind of a little bit out of place in some ways. This almost needs to be the AI limiters. I guess it's fine. I think we want to start expanding out onto this flat area here. And then it's a case of maybe it's time to actually just foundation over everything. I don't want to though, that's the thing. Is this playthrough I'm wanting to keep it relatively simple and not just foundation over everything. I think it looks just ugly. I don't like that as a game style personally. If we have another manufactory down here, I don't know why I call it a manufactory, it's just a manufacturer. It's just in my brain for some reason. Just set that down like that. We'll worry about just having this fed first of all. How many computers does it use per minute? 7.5 per minute. Okay. Right. That's too many. That's way too many. So we can't just feed that directly into there or everything will disappear. Supercomputers, it might just be a case of we only make what we need. We go 0.5 per minute. How does that change the numbers? Oh, it makes the numbers much cleaner at least. 2, 1, 1.5, 14. Okay, well Yeah, we don't make them very fast, but we donk. Now, it's a case of, do I feed anything directly, or do I just have containers? Oh, we should have containers regardless. So, one concession to foundations can be to have... Those go across there now. Storage container can go here, so can I fit 4 on here? I should be able to. I think they'll be slightly off center. Ow. Okay, well these need to be slightly higher then. Oh, then it's clipping. That's rude. Okay. Never mind, we go up 4 meters. I forgot that there's another bit off to the side. Hopefully that'll work. Wait, now it doesn't like putting them down at all? What? It needs to be like slightly more? That's so annoying. Okay, well they're going to overhang. We're going to just do that. We're going to put these down as far back as we can. So we do that. It'd be nice if it defaulted to the same orientation. There we go, this time it did. That. Oh, we're going to need to do another one here. We can just do a half foundation though. Perfect. And we have a little walkway. We can get rid of these now and they'll just overhang and I don't care. And then we can put lifters here. Coming up to the right height. That looks about right. I don't think we'll need anything more than Mark 1s. Looks so scuffed. Where's the power that's supplying you? All the way over here? Alright, let's put you in line and bring you... I don't want to put you over there, actually. Can we string anything else around? We'll just do that and just bring it over here. Don't like things clipping very much, but that's fine. Let's bring it over here. And then bring it down here. Okay, now we've got power for our hover thing, no matter where we go. Hook that up. It's dormant, but we'll hook it up anyway. What's our power like? Okay, max consumption is now over our capacity for the first time in a while. Alright, we are Somas looping some stuff, which makes a big difference though. Now, this is going to be using 14 plastic per minute, so we need to get some plastic down here. And computers are being produced at a rate of 2.5 per minute, so we can actually hook this up directly, and it will survive. Just kind of clipping into the pipes a little bit. The pipes can just go up and across and then down, probably. It's so ugly having them there. I should find some limestone further away and do the tubes somewhere else. Yeah, let's get rid of these for now. That bring it up a fair bit actually, because we'll have it over the computer height. It's just as well the pipes are, or the steel frames are small, so they just slide under. Oh, they kind of don't actually. Oh well. Never mind. We'll choose to ignore that. So now we can have our computers going in like so. Just mildly easy. So then AI limiters we can have going in directly. 1 per minute. How many are we making of these? 3 per minute. Okay, and that's underclocked. Just for the sake of, like, numbers. So then they can go into the far one there. And then plastic and then high speed. So high speed connectors is the thing that we're missing currently. We'll need to put up an assembly for that separately. Circuit boards we currently have going in here. We could actually replace that. I think I could fit an entire lot in me. We do this. This is now going to look ugly, but you know what? We can actually put that in line and just bring that across like so. Okay, it'll still look ugly, but industrial container. So that way, the main advantage with this is the 2 in and 2 out. So then we can have the bottom one still coming out there, going in there, or we can put all of them back in there, and then we can have the top one going like this. And slide in just underneath that one. It's clipping to the point that it doesn't want to let me put it. Oh no, I'm missing plates. Okay, never mind. For the first time in a very long time, I've actually run out of something. Okay, so let's take those and then grab 3 more stacks to be able to put 2, and we'll use some and then put the remainder of the stack in. It is still clipping slightly though. We want to put this one up a little bit higher, so that it can be on a downward slope. That should be fine. Oh, it just slides past. That's perfect. There we go. So circuit boards can come out of there, and then we can put this stack there. We could even put them into the dedicated container instead. It's a better idea. We have a container over here, that anything that we put into this middle container will go into the dimensional depot. So we can queue a lot more things up that way. What's in the bottom container? Oh, SAM stuff, that's right. We were thinking of having a constructor or something down the bottom as well. We still could. That requires a manufacturer though, which I'm not too keen on bothering with, but we can at least have these being produced. Oh, no, we already do, that's right. We have those being produced, but we don't have these being automated. We haven't had a need to actually automate them properly though, so I'm not too bothered. But we could have a manufacturer just set up off to the side that we can just use for that whenever we feel like it. Basically have my own personal manufacturer, and then it'll feed into there. Because if nothing else, then it gives us the ability that we can soma sloop anything that we want as well, and make double the amount. Let's actually line it up on the same grid alignment as those. Oh, it's facing the wrong way? Of course it is. Of course it is. Damn it! No. Okay. We need this one here to be back. Can we deconstruct just this one? Of course we can. Physics doesn't exist in this game. Now, can I put it back down again? Underneath? No. That's the problem. It's like I can't then put it back down again without deconstructing the rest, it seems. It appears there briefly sometimes, but then it still doesn't let me. That's annoying. That's very rude. That means I have to deconstruct. Oh, and I can't reconstruct the snow thing either. Okay, well this is now going to look ugly because, yeah, that we can't replace this now. Oh, we kind of can. We can't, but we kind of can. Oh, there we go. So it won't actually lock, but for all intents and purposes, it'll look like it is. And that's all that matters. There we go. No one's gonna notice. Shh, don't tell anyone, chat. Don't tell anyone. Chiming at the bottom of the storage bin? I'll try, but it just really doesn't seem to want to. Hello, by the way. Yes, hello. Because it looked like it was briefly. Like I even like holding control to do the clipping. And it looked like it appeared there very briefly. But yeah, it doesn't want to actually stack properly. But yeah, we can fool it and just put it down just like that. And it looks fine. It's fine. Yeah, it doesn't work, unfortunately. Right, so we can tell that to do that, but we're not actually going to feed anything into it right now. And then we can put these down the bottom. It still looks weird, but we have that for when we want it. We can even power it. Why not? It's just not going to do anything at the moment. Let's put another power line in line here. Have it coming down like here. And then we can do that. There we go. Extends my reach for my hover thing as well. Cool. If it looks dumb but works, it's not dumb. Precisely. You can stack bins up and not down. It probably would be fine if it wasn't at ground level already. So it probably didn't like that, perhaps? I don't know. We'll never know. Where were my pipes going? Here, status, right? Yeah, status. Uses 15 per minute. Okay. Oh, but we're doubling it for some reason. Oh yeah, because we needed status, that's right. So, we want another 250 of these, I think. Because we want to feed them in here. Ah, we need to put more cable in. But it almost got there. So 250 of those, that's lot 3 of 5, I believe. We cannot make cable fast enough. This one is full, so we'll plunder that. And put all of them in there. Yeah, we can't actually make it fast enough. Because that's making lots of automated wiring. Though, this is actually going to back up soon. We actually want to fire this up. Because we need those before we can make, in an assembler of all things, this. But we also need supercomputers. You're far from a bauxite node. Where are you getting aluminium from? Quite a far ways north. About halfway to my oil. Yeah, everything is quite far away in this one, that's for sure. So to make 500 of these... No, it's the ingredients to make 500, but it'll become 1,000, doesn't it? Because we need 500 of these, which takes 2. Hence we need 1,000, but it's the ingredients for 500. So if we imagine this is just 1, 5 to 1, that's why we're making 2,500 of these. So we need 2,500 circuit boards, 500 heavy modular frames, and 1,000 computers. We don't have 500 of these just yet, unfortunately. What are you lacking? Screws, of course. Now, if we don't have 1,000 of them, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 250. So that's enough for half. So now we need 500 computers to also match it for half. I don't want to put these in at the moment because I want even stacks. It's a lot easier to do maths with even stacks. And we'll also need... There's another 2,500 of these, so 1,250 of these. Let's just do this for now so we can split these out. 1,250 of those. And how many computers? 500 computers, I think. Oh, these are all moving into this container now. 450, 500. And that's enough to do half of what we need. But then we can fire that up. And then our power is going to start to actually struggle because we're going to be adding in another 550 megawatts onto that. Oh no, because we don't have it overclocked. It's just the 220. Okay. Well, let's fire you up. Computers can go in there. Circuit boards can go in there. Using very low rates of anything, and you can just beaver away and make all of those. And you can just go down here. How many are we making of those? We're making a total of 1,000. They only stack to 50, I'm fairly sure, which means we need 20 odd stacks, so this isn't going to be enough. I think maybe we just have another container for overflow. Let's just take out everything that's here and then put them all in there. That's just our machine part overflow, or space elevator part overflow. Uranium? Question mark? So you discovered it? Did you have it unlocked before you discovered it? No, that's why there's a question mark. I came across a cave, things started clicking at me and told me there was radiation. I saw a green ore deposit, so I put down a pin with uranium and just left it there. So, you were the one making supercomputers, yes? Right. Which will need plastic. Well, that gives us a handy overflow. Because we already have this coming off here and going two different ways. We can then actually have a splitter here. Do that, and then go up here. Is this correct? AI limiters are all in here. AI limiters, the high-speed connector. Oh, I'm putting circuit boards directly in. That's wrong. It's high-speed connectors go in here. Oops. Circuit boards are used for high-speed connectors, but we need to make those first. I think we need to make them, like, above here. I think we actually put a foundation sort of area over the top of this bit here, because I don't think one will fit down here, and we've got our AI limiters being produced here anyway, because it's convenient for the Quickwire, and we already had copper sheets being run across there. Ignore that it does a bit of a dog leg there. That's a legacy. We could actually just turn that around and have it going straight across there. That would probably be a bit cleaner. I don't think I can move that easily. I also don't have to, because I could always have this going up and across and down, but it's probably just as easy to just put a... We've already got foundations at that level here anyway, so we can just do the same and just do here, vertical, and just come up. And then we want this at 1 meter layer. Oh, this is going to be a different alignment, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Let's do that and deconstruct these. And now we can have this going underneath here. On vertical mode, going down to meet the ground. Not that it matters, you can have things floating, but hey, it looks a little bit nicer if we do it like this. So you can actually go away. You'll be a bit higher than that. You will need to come up. Oh, we can't go higher without clipping into that, though. Oh, that's ugly. That's a shame. Maybe we do it at that level. And we actually drop this down, and it'll be a slightly lower level than that. We just have it at that level instead. And we'll just have it going across like that. Why not? Just have a step. I don't know how big I'm going to need to make it as well. If we do it like that, then have it coming off this side. 3x3 is probably enough for a manufacturer, right? Fun fact, if you made the decision to mine the uranium for some reason without a hazmat suit, you would have died in about 5 seconds. I'm not surprised. That's why I just left it alone and gave it a wide berth. Okay, so we don't actually need as much space for this as I thought. In fact, even too wide is plenty. But we have it, so we may as well use it. Let's just do it like this. Is that centered? Close enough. Interesting, it doesn't like going square. But it does when I do it that way. It's funny how that makes a difference. Right, and then we have these off the back here that we can't actually fit things on. Actually, we can get rid of this step bit here. Because we're not actually putting fuel in there anyway. Now, you actually only need 3 inputs anyway, I think. High-speed connector here, you're only using 3. We can't fit a container down and have it actually fed. That's a bit of a problem. Okay, well, then maybe we just get rid of the fact that it's a sort of bridge, and instead it's a sort of cantilever thing. I don't think I... Do I have pillars? I think I have pillars. So if I care about how it looks, I can do something about it. I generally don't care, though. There is no structural integrity system in this game. So, not punished. But it does look disgusting, so... oh, maybe I didn't get pillars. No, I guess I didn't bother getting pillars. Oh well, never mind. That's some really strong bracing coming across from there. Now, what do you need? You need Quickwire. 210 per minute. Holy hell. I only make like 120. Oh. 3.75 per minute high-speed connectors. What does this use down here? Physics is odd? Yeah, exactly. Gravity only applies to you in liquids. Yeah. 1.5 per minute. Okay. 1.5 per minute. So if we make target production rate 2, what does that do? Still uses 112. But otherwise, everything else is a little bit more reasonable. That's a lot of Quickwire, though. Huh. If we make it 2.5, then it goes to 140, but otherwise it's still fine. 2.5 per minute for circuit boards. You're using 10 per minute. You're producing 13.125 per minute. So that's fine, and we could overclock this further. That's 56.25, and you're using 60. So that's only just below the 120 that I think we're producing. First items in the game that gives people aneurysms. I've had a few already from other things. The high-speed connectors is the least of my worries. I think we need to go and check out our production, that's for sure. Which means we're going to run out of energy on our hover pack. This is only a Mark II. Now we have that power again. I am usually pretty good at sending power lines everywhere. Now, is it power lines or power poles? That's the next thing. Poles. Well, I have a zip wire. Back up. And this moves about the same speed, really. So that's not so bad. So if I double check what my Quickwire production is like... I think it's 120 from the mine because it's a pure node. I know that much. And then I just curated the outputs and everything here to deliver a perfect amount, I think. Okay, I'm making 150 per minute, but I can only extract 120 with these, which means this is all backlogged. Okay. And you are triple overclocked. I need to put in another constructor if I want to do anything else. And that's got you using 45 per minute, you using 40. Oh, so we're only using 90. But we're producing 120, right? Right? Yeah, it must be. It's backing up. Yeah, 120. Power poles, machines, and all electrically powered railway track. Okay, so railway tracks would be good, but not power lines, unfortunately. Which makes sense. They're insulated. They're not going to just arc to you, but as long as you put poles along. And I say, if you're following pylons, then you've got the zipline ability anyway. Okay, so we're only using 90. Which means we can actually overclock that and have that produce 180 and just double this entirely. I think that's probably the best plan. Alright. Not that I need to worry about that just yet because we have a backlog, so maybe we just don't worry with that, we just put the production in first. So we have that coming in here. We currently have it splitting off like so. So what we actually want, I think, is we want to just reroute this a little bit. Let's move that and these. And then we have a merger at this point here instead. And then, what's coming out? It's only 15 per minute coming out, but 30 goes to 150. So if we do that, then we do this, and then we do another splitter here. These aren't actually like perfectly lined up anyway. There we go. And we want to have that being Mark II, but that only needs to be Mark I. Then have another smelter here. Also being fed. Making deuterium. Put in my excess. And doing that. Good. Now fire those up. So that's feeding that constructor. Then over here, I should have done it the other way. I should have spread things that way because I had a bit more room to move. That's fine, we can just chop down this tree if we really want to. Or not. Let's just have another smelter. It doesn't even think that it's clipping the tree. That's amusing. Okay, let's just get rid of it because it looks untidy. Far. I'll get rid of the other one too. Oops, never mind. It was bound to happen eventually. That there. Literally the same thing. In reverse. Splitter off. Here. Mark II. Mark 1. Mark 1. And then constructor facing that way. Doing that there. Get rid of you. Have a merger lining up with. Why are you not telling me that it's lining up? Oh, there we go. There we go. Mark 1, Mark 1, Mark 1, all good. And then we need to have Mark 2 coming out. Actually needs to be Mark 3 coming out. Yeah, these are... I think I made this when I only had Mark 2 anyway. That's part of the problem. So that needs to be Mark 3. Everything else we can just actually make Mark 4 for the sake of it. Have a merger in line here. You upgrade to Mark 4, because why not? You then are Mark 2. And we can either have it going on an angle, or we can have it going straight. So that's fine. This has to be Mark 3. Let's do that. Cool, and then we worry about power. We have this. Going here to do that. And it can also clip across there, that's fine. You make Quickwire. We don't need to double overclock so much, do we? We're making 150, we can just make 120. And we can actually declock these. Make 12. That actually means that we're still not going to be using everything. So 12 and 12 to make 24, which makes 120. You make 12. You put my excess in there so I don't have it on me. Good. So 120 and 120 makes 240, which needs to be at least a Mark 3 conveyor belt. I think we'll stick with Mark 3 for now. So we'll work that out later. So if you're 36 and 36, that's 72. 72 and 72 is 144. So you need to be only partially overclocked to go to, let's say 150, so we have a nice excess. And that means we need this to be Mark 3, this to be Mark 3, and this to be Mark 3. I think we have lots of excess. And then this needs to be Mark 3 as well. Then we have Mark 2, and then 1 and 1. Lovely. I like this. Hoverpack used to be kind of bad before update 1.0. They doubled the range. Used to be a bug that if you were standing completely still, you'd slowly float towards it if it wasn't too fast, but it was fast enough to be annoying. That's funny. I've noticed that power drains when I'm in a hover tube. Or hypertube, rather, which is interesting. Which feels like a bug. It doesn't matter, because then when you come out the other end of the hypertube, the entrance is always powered, so it immediately recharges, so that's fine. But it is kind of interesting. We're making the Quickwire much quicker. So, this will hopefully deal with our current demand. Certainly our soon-to-be extra demand. Okay, let me do that there. Right. Now, we need a splitter somewhere. We can put a splitter in before it reaches here, or after. I think we probably put another one in. We've got one here, but it's blocked off the other side. We could move it, of course. But if we're, instead of using a three-way splitter, because this only needs 120 each way, if we do three-way splitter and we have 240 coming in, then it'll want to do like 80 each direction. But if we put a splitter here, then it'll do the 120 each direction first, and then we have the extra bit. Okay, so I think that's the best way to do it. So if we have a splitter here, like so, and we'll actually have this going off that side there instead. Okay, and then we can have this go up into one of these inputs. It's still going to be 140 per minute. Okay, so let's make it 2, so it's 112. Won't be producing things super quickly, that's for sure. It's about the right height. Let's just do that, and then we can have the other sides being fed in elsewhere. Actually, you know what? We should probably have that going differently, because other things are going to have to come in from elsewhere. We've got cable coming in down there currently. Circuit boards are going to be coming across here, somehow. I haven't even figured out how that's going to work yet. Ah, I know how that's going to work. We have a lift coming up here and just facing this way. Do that. Actually, yeah, let's do that. And let's make this actually go face that direction instead. And do like that. Speaking of hypertubes, it's a fun bug the devs keep doing. Place a bunch of entrances in a row, you speed up multiples, and then you go flying. Yeah, I've seen that, the hypertube cannon. Yeah, Arc uses that. I personally think it's stupid. I'm not likely to use it. I've used just relays to make the hypertube network faster, so every now and then, because I was doing a few uphills, last episode I went through and replaced a few segments so that I'd have just entrance to entrance, and it gave me a little boost to go up the hill. That's about as far as I care. Because to me the whole point of hypertubes, or one of the points of the hypertube networks, is that you should be able to jump into it and not have to think about what you're doing. Like, I can jump into a hypertube, and then have a drink, even take a break, and then come back and I'll be at my destination ideally. If you launch yourself, okay, now I have to control myself. I have to, like, hit my parachute when I need to, sort of thing, right? It just seems more annoying. You go face this direction. And then go straight across there. Cool, and now I just need to worry about cable.